What's going on, everybody? So we're back with another tier list, and this time we're tackling Fox Kids, which is one that I didn't think I had seen as much as I had in Fox Kids. So, yeah. This is going to be tough, because, I mean, look at what we have here. We've got giants like Batman the Animated Series, Spider-Man the Animated Series, and X-Men going up against each other. This is going to be insane. This might be one of the most difficult tier lists I've ever done, just from the basis of those three shows alone. Good night, King Ben. Okay. Which Casper is this, by the way? I'm going to assume this is the OG Casper cartoon. It's great. If it's the OG Casper cartoon, it's great. It is really good. I remember I used to watch a lot of the VHS tapes as a kid. It is really, really, really good. It's basic, it's simple, it's classic. Alvin and the Chipmunks, I would rate slightly above it, but for a similar reason. Love Alvin and the Chipmunks. Love their whole thing they've got going on. I love it. Love Alvin and the Chipmunks. This one is going to go C. I really wanted to talk about NASCAR racers, and here's why. I'm very nostalgic for NASCAR racers. But I know that that's the only reason why I even slightly like that show, is because I have nostalgia for it. Like, just looking at that logo brings me back to a specific point in time. So that's why I say, like, I wanted to talk about it, because I think it's important to me in a very weird, interesting way. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I do remember playing a computer game for NASCAR racers. I believe I got the demo in a box of cereal. I know, they don't do that anymore. But I remember playing the demo on my computer for the NASCAR Racers PC game. And that logo was on the PC game, and it just has burned itself into my brain, so seeing it again is crazy. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Goosebumps is good for what it is. I mean, Goosebumps is literally every live-action kids show that came out in the early 90s. Cheesy, corny, bad acting, but it is great, considering all of those things. All those things I said weren't necessarily a negative, because of the year they came out. It has a charm because of the negativities. So I think the charm takes those negativities and flips them into a positivity. So I do like all those things about Goosebumps, but I think that outside of Halloween, you're really probably not watching Goosebumps. And even during Halloween, there's better options aside from Goosebumps. It's good. It's just not my favorite. I feel very similarly about Are You Afraid of the Dark? Though I will say I think Are You Afraid of the Dark might be a bit better. But we'll see, but that's neither here nor there. Neither are on the list, so thank God we'll avoid that conversation for now. Okay. Power Rangers. I also did not, I know I'm getting a lot of hate for this. Power Rangers was not my thing. It was never my thing. I've tried. I get, don't get me wrong, I get the appeal of Power Rangers 1,000%. And it's cool. And again, if I had ridden that Power Rangers wave when the wave was like coming, that would probably be S tier, right? But like, I saw everybody else riding the wave and said, I'm good. I don't really have anything against it. It's just, I don't know. This was never really for me. Now, that being said, Beetleborgs, I thought was great. Beetleborgs was what Power Rangers was. So I know it probably almost sounds hypocritical for me to be like, Power Rangers, not for me. But Beetleborgs, though. But I will say, I did grow up on Beetleborgs. And while I'm probably, obviously, I gave it still a C tier. So while obviously I don't think that it's, cinema. But I do think that it was great for the time. I enjoyed the characters. And I enjoyed where it was going more so than where I enjoyed where Power Rangers was going. I felt like Beetleborgs had more stakes, but that's neither here nor there. Cyber 6, I've only seen like 2 or 3 episodes of. It's very short. I might misquote it, but I want to say it's really short. It's like 13 episodes, I think. And I think they're all on YouTube. I've seen like 2 or 3. It's not bad. It's like a vampire werewolf mixed with Carmen Sandiego. Like, it's a very interesting show. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I put it in B with only seeing like 2 or 3 episodes. So I mean, that's why it's bottom B, but from what I've seen, it's good. Tasmania. Tasmania. Should I tackle Tasmania yet? Beetlejuice I'll go ahead and tackle. I thought Beetlejuice was a very creative cartoon based off of a live action film that was already creative. What I loved about the cartoon was very similar to how I felt about The Mask and The Mask cartoon. Beetlejuice and The Mask have 2 things that are very similar. Is that they're both really wacky, crazy, and zany characters. And in live action, especially in the 80s, you can only do so much. In a cartoon, you had unlimited access. You could do whatever you wanted to. It's a cartoon. You can draw a character doing anything. So, I think that both the Beetlejuice cartoon and the Mask cartoon took what was possible in the films and really explored those avenues in the show. So I really appreciate what Beetlejuice, the cartoon, added to the franchise. Bobby's World. Now, Bobby's World, I put top C, because Bobby's World is nothing crazy. Actually, I might put Bobby's World bottom B. Bobby's World is nothing crazy. It's your average cartoon sitcom. It was made in the 90s, and it's got Howie Mandel. Like, that's the show. I have a funny story about Bobby's World, actually. I grew up with Bobby's World. I mostly, actually, funnily enough, grew up with the DVDs of Bobby's World. There was like 2 DVDs I watched continuously. The opening theme of Bobby's World is actually great. And that's going to tie into my funny story. I was at a bar, and they had a trivia. They had trivia nights, and one of the nights we were there, the trivia night theme was 90s cartoon opening themes. And you know me, of course I competed, and of course I won. But the final round was me versus this other guy. And the theme they played was Bobby's World. And the guy I was competing against did his buzzer first, and I was like, oh, that's it. He's got it. He's going to know. He said Rugrats. And I looked at him. I was like, that's not Rugrats. Because I knew it. I was like, no, this is Bobby's World. And he was like, wrong. What's your guess? And I was like, Bobby's World. He was like, yeah, you win. So that's my funny story. But Bobby's World literally won me a 90s animated opening theme bar trivia contest. So I didn't mean anything. I think I got like a free beer, but that was it. Funny story, come and gone. Magic School Bus, A. I would have put Magic School Bus in S, but there's way too much down here that's going to go there. Magic School Bus, where do I begin? I mean, Magic School Bus is like The quintessential children's cartoon, in my opinion. Like, the quintessential. Actually, because of that, honestly, yeah, I will put it in S. I mean, because if you really think about it in perspective, name one other kid's cartoon that is more beneficial to the growth, intelligently, of children, aside from the Magic School Bus. I can't think of many. I mean, obviously, there's great children's cartoons that teaches a lot of great things for kids. But if we're speaking academically, if we're speaking, I can't think of a better show for kids, personally. But that's neither here nor there. Love Magic School Bus. It's fantastic. Tom and Jerry Kids. It's the best. If it's gonna go in B, it's the best of anything in B. Which almost wants me to put it in low A. Look, Tom and Jerry Kids, just from its opening theme alone, deserves to be an A. Like, Tom and Jerry Kids has probably, if you listen to the Tom and Jerry Kids opening theme, I'm willing to wager a lot of money. I won't put a finite amount, but I'm willing to wager a lot of money that that song is going to be stuck in your head, bare minimum, an hour after you've listened to it. Bare minimum. If not all day. And so I think it belongs in A tier, just for that alone. But what I enjoy about Tom and Jerry Kids is they experiment. They do a lot of things with the show that the original Tom and Jerry never did. They go places the original show never went. And I appreciate what they did, and I think that for what it is, I think it's great. Now that being said, I mean, Looney Tunes. I mean, yes, it goes in S tier. You want to talk about quintessential children's cartoons. This is the quintessential cartoon, is Looney Tunes. Can you get any more quintessential of a cartoon than Looney Tunes or something like Mickey Mouse? Is that even possible? I don't think so. Carmen Sandiego is meh. Meh as absolute meh. Yeah. Carmen Sandiego, I mean, honestly, it was so meh to me. I mean, it was like, I don't know. It just was, I guess it just wasn't my kind of show. I'll just leave it there, I suppose. But, Animaniacs. I'm also going to put it in S because of a different reason. Name another show that, I mean, did Animaniacs practically invent pop culture references and fourth wall break in cartoons? I don't know if it created it. I mean, the Beetlejuice cartoon and the Mask cartoon did that as well. But I think Animaniacs kind of perfected that genre, I would say. And it's got some of the best writing, I think, out of any show on this list. So it's going in A. Tiny Toons, I'm going to put, or it's going to go in S. Tiny Toons, I'm going to put in A. Tiny Toons was definitely, to me, the show that wasn't as good. Obviously, it's good. Look, it's an A. But when Animaniacs was out at the time, when Freakazoid was out at the time, when Batman the Animated Series was out at the time, Tiny Toons just got overshadowed. Like, I mean, if I could watch every show that ever came out ever, I would. But obviously, growing up, and even now, I can't. So I had to pick. So obviously I couldn't watch Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, Batman, blah, blah, blah. I had to pick a couple. So if any got left out, it was Tiny Toons. But that being said, from what I have seen of it, great. And I did see all of Tiny Toons University. Meh. Tasmania. I appreciate what they were trying to do. I appreciate what Taz had become and what they were trying to do with his character. I don't think it worked. Not the way that they wanted it to. I think it's a good show. I think the opening theme is also very good, but I don't think that it's something fantastic. Let's see. We're down to the wire here. Alright. Ninja Turtles The Next Mutation. I think Ninja Turtles The Next Mutation gets a lot more hate than I think it deserves. So what The Next Mutation was, for those unaware, it was a live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series that introduced a fifth turtle for the first time ever. Introduced a brand new turtle, added to the team, who was a female turtle. Which I found interesting. Good dynamic, interesting jokes, and they even had a crossover with Power Rangers. I mean, how cool is that? I think it got a lot more hate than it deserved. I don't think it's like obviously the best adaptation ever. That's why it's mid-B. Let's do Spider-Man first. Spider-Man the Animated Series is a very important show to me. Spider-Man is one of the most popular characters probably in the world, I would say. Most people know what Spider-Man is. Now, what Spider-Man means specifically to a specific individual is different because we all grew up with different versions. The one I grew up with was Spider-Man the Animated Series. And this show, to me, it's not everything that Spider-Man is to me, but I enjoyed, for the same reason I enjoyed Batman the Animated Series, which we're going to get into here soon. I enjoyed as a kid watching adult characters be adults as a kid and see them struggle with adult life. I've noticed with a lot of like modern Spider-Man cartoons, they keep throwing him in high school to like relate to kids who are also going through high school, and that's cool. Maybe I would have also related to that a lot as a kid. But I will say that as a kid, when I watched Spider-Man the Animated Series, one of the biggest things I really enjoyed was seeing someone going through problems and struggles that I'm not already currently going through, so that I can see a roadmap for my future. Not my future necessarily, but I get to see an adult handling adult problems and issues, which I felt was beneficial for me at the time. Loved Spider-Man the Animated Series. It's great. Do I think it's as good as some of these other shows I'm going to put on the list? Maybe not. You'll see, but maybe not. I think Spider-Man the Animated Series, its biggest downfall is that it had a lot of restrictions. Not their fault, and they did their best with what they could, but they had a lot of restrictions. And the animation at times was very poor. Now, that being said, Spider-Man Unlimited. I did not enjoy as much. I also don't know if I like how they really tried to push this as like a canonical sequel to Spider-Man the Animated Series, which it wasn't. It was its own thing. But look, the logo, they tried to use the same. At the beginning of the first episode, they used the same guitar riff that's used in the opening theme of the original show. They really tried to link the two together, but they're actually separate. Spider-Man Unlimited was about Peter Parker and Spider-Man going off to a distant planet, and he lives there now, and it's Spider-Man like on that distant planet, and there's like a good Green Goblin there. There's like alternate versions of his villains there. It's very bizarre. But an interesting show concept for sure, and I like what they do with a lot of the things. X-Men is great. X-Men is so good. Like, I've only just recently started getting into the original X-Men cartoon, but I understood immediately why this show is as good and is as popular as it is. X-Men is absolutely phenomenal. X-Men teaches you life lessons to an astounding degree, and it deserves all the praise it's been getting. And with that, Batman the Animated Series reigns supreme to me. Teaches you never to give up, teaches you life lessons, teaches you how to be heroic, teaches you how to, you name it. I mean, Batman the Animated Series, talk about somebody to look up to. Talk about somebody who's had just the worst life ever, and he makes it what it is, and he just doesn't care what anybody else thinks. Very admirable. But guys, that's the tier list. What do you guys think about my Fox Kids tier list? Leave those comments in the description box down below. Do you guys agree, disagree? Where would you guys have put some of these shows differently? Let me know in the description box down below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Thanks so much to Tamil Kent, Matt Harvey, Benny Hardson, King Ben, Atlia, Ryan Wilkins, Advanced Hell, Kame Senin, and Susan Simone for all becoming members. If you would also like to become a member, on my channel there exists multiple different tier levels, and you can pick out which one is best for you.